Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 3, I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday, of week 7 of Urban Agoge. Oh, time progresseth. So, just taking a quick wander in the woods. I've rejigged the days very slightly, in that for a number of small and petty reasons, life gets in the way when you try and do stuff. And so I'm doing Friday's exercises today. Yes, Friday's exercises today. And I'll be doing the run, which should have been today, tomorrow. Not because I can't be bothered. I was really looking forward to it and G'd up. But more because I want to really, because I want to get it all done. Friday is not going to be a day. There may or may not be a video on Friday, depending on my timings, depending on when I get up. But I'm hoping there will be, so that you guys have got something to watch. Because I'll be going to a different city to visit my daughter. So I will need to get there by about midday, I should imagine. But yes, and it was raining heavily yesterday, so I wasn't able to dry out my gym kit. So, into the woods we go. And I thought I'd take some time to talk about other projects that I want to fold into the Urban Agoge. It's not just fitness. It's not just mental preparedness, it's also a level of physical preparedness. So fairly shortly, once the new camera and gimbal turn up, I'll be shooting a few extra videos on personal preparedness and what you might find around your home to sort of like locate into one area, so that if anything unexpected does happen, then you'll be prepared. So yeah, so one of the things that was brought to my attention by Harlequin and I think Digital Whiskey was Sweden has officially, from a governmental level, backed the concept of prepping, because they're continually worried about invasion from the Soviet Union. And it's a really interesting thing. They're like properly encouraging people to put a few weeks' food to one side, prepare for water being cut off, power being cut off, things like that, which is a really serious deal in Sweden because it's very cold. So A, you need a lot of calories to cope with being cold, and B, you need alternative heating or warm clothing laid aside so that you've got it if you need it. Now the weirdest thing about prepping is those things that are currently dirt cheap and almost universally available become, absolutely more precious than gold in the event of an economic breakdown or trade breakdown. Hey, see, I definitely thinner. Weighed myself this morning and came in at 94.7 kilos. So I've lost around 5 to 5.5 kilos in the last 6 weeks, which is pretty interesting. Given that I'm not starving myself, I'm literally just getting exercise. So as far as personal health is concerned, I'm afraid the doctors are right. Eat sensibly and get some regular exercise, go for a walk, do some running, do some cardio, do some press-ups and stuff. The answer is really aggravatingly simple. So yeah, and we're at 620 views for the entire life of the channel, which is amazing. It's a really amazing growth in a month. If I could get 620 views a month on my other channel, I'd be a happy person. So yeah, so I've had some ideas for the trailer. I've started preliminary shooting of that, so you might get a Mark 1 trailer sometime soon. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see people are watching the videos and getting something out of them. And all this sort of, this idea of like holistic, sensible well-being is definitely one of those things that I think a lot of people could benefit from. It's all too easy in the modern world to seem extremely rudderless and without direction. You know, wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat. At weekends, do socialising. You know, go back Monday morning grumpy. Whereas my life was like that. It did seem fairly meaningless. And then I started looking at all the things that I wanted to learn how to do. I realised that I'm lucky in my job, and not that many people would think that, but it does give me an awful lot of time to shoot films and research and do all sorts of stuff, and generally expand on my abilities, the things I can do. You know, I now can run a couple of miles if I really got to. You know, even wearing a light pack. I now, you know, am a lot healthier. I'm moving into a time when I really think that I can, you know, sort of seriously think about quitting smoking. I'm looking at, you know, the length of debt that I've got, which theoretically, if I just paid the minimum every month, would take me another 4 years to pay off, which is insane. But it's now looking like I could probably get it paid off within a year, and that gives me a goal. Also, the sort of self-belief that's come out of this is allowing me to sort of think, you know, perhaps I could do other things or generate some kind of income so I could do my very menial job. And I'm not saying I dislike it, but it is a very menial job. I could be doing more creative stuff with my time if I can leverage some kind of income from YouTube. Or I can produce enough good media that people are actually wanting to support me via Patreon or something like that. So, and I've already got 2 Patreons at the moment. So if I can put some effort into this as a job, being a kind of like freelance life coach in a way, because I think I've got the right experience for it. I think I've got the right level of understanding. You know, I have been a couch potato for an incredibly long time. You know, I have been just plodding through my life, and now I feel like I'm a little bit more awake. But none of that's new information. I haven't, you know, there hasn't been a startling step forward in philosophy or health and fitness in the last few years, or even the last 20 years. Most of the stuff that I'm teaching you is thousands of years old. We've known it for a long while. But it doesn't, you know, it doesn't profit major corporations and governments for everybody to be paying attention. The only way that our current state could be got into or maintained is if everybody's kind of trudging through their lives making the best of it that they can. And that's a gigantic waste of human potential. You know, when a few thousand of us can literally go from no knowledge of space exploration to putting people on the moon repeatedly and safely bringing them back to Earth, when a few hundred of us can set up an exploration visit to the South Pole or Tierra del Fuego, which is arguably harder to get to. You know, when you've got all those things, and you've got all those abilities that people have wrested from the impossible, and it doesn't take all of us, it makes me want to imagine what might happen if, say, you know, a few million of us woke up and had a dedicated goal. You know, religions seem to manage it. It's part of why I'm working with Harlequin on the concept of a humanist church, to make this information as available as possible. You know, I don't have necessarily any religious beliefs, but I do have a belief that at some point we will meet and be evaluated by either a deity or an alien race or an artificial intelligence, you know. So I'm trying to get all those ducks in a row, like a really reasonable guide to life. See, I went in a little circle there. So yeah, this was just a short video to sort of like say, you know, I think this thing could be bigger. Thank you to everybody that's watching this and taking the time out. Part 2 of this morning's video will be the exercises that would have been laid out for day 5 of week 7 on the Army fitness manual. But I also needed a bit of a walk to wake myself up and get myself charged and going. I pretty much every day get some kind of outside time. That's on, you know, that's not just going to work, that's actually going for a bit of a wander. That doesn't require me to rove miles and miles. You know, I definitely want to get down to the canal again. And the next time I'm in that area, I'll go for a little bit more of an explore down the canal. Canals are interesting. Canals are the reasons that people knew enough about engineering to build railroads. You know, and railroads were a significant step forward in human industry. So yeah, fairly short video this morning, me rambling on and on a bit. Probably not as long as you guys would like, or probably about as much as you guys would like, I don't know. That's what comments are for. So yeah, so we'll get this all sorted out. I get back to the gym, do some exercises. Today's the first day of circuit training. Get this all out and yeah, move on. So as always, thank you very much for watching and do take care.